The Monday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Thanks for hanging out with us today. A short week for us. Don't worry, we'll try to get to everything over the next 3 days. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope everyone is getting excited for Thanksgiving and all the festivities the rest of the week. Chris Schubert with you. Next 2 hours here on the program. Producer Evan is on the other side of the glass, ready to take your phone calls. 480-864-1060. That is the phone number for you to hang out with us here today. You can also watch the program over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Certainly, we love a Monday after a football week. Lots for us to get to, both football and non-football related. But yes, we start with a football team that has now lost 8 of their last 9, this time an overtime loss.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Well, at least it was better than the last 2 weeks, right? 85 points the previous 2 weeks. We didn't get into the 40s this week. An overtime loss for the Arizona Cardinals, 27-24, as they fall to the Jacksonville Jaguars and now have lost 8 of their last 9 games this season. And I don't know where to start today with this team. I really don't. Because on the one hand, it's exactly what we asked this team to show us on Friday, right? We said you cannot repeat the performances of the last 2 weeks. You cannot come out and be unprepared the way you were against Seattle. You cannot come out and be undisciplined the way you were against San Francisco. You needed a more inspired effort. What we said on Friday was, I need to see the fight from this team. Well, they certainly brought the fight. Played hard for all 4 quarters, had this Jacksonville team on the mat a couple of times, took the game to overtime, had the ball in overtime with a chance to win the game. So they checked that box. Battling against a team that needed it. The Chiefs had won earlier in the day, jostling for position for those final couple of wild card spots in the AFC. Jacksonville needed this game. And you battled them until the final play, a 4th down incompletion that is going to be very talked about today. We'll weigh in on it on the program a little bit later on. That 4th and 4, Jacoby Brissett incompletion that sealed the deal for Jacksonville. So on the one hand, everything that we needed this game to be, we wanted this game to be. Yet, I can't help but feel extremely disappointed. I can't help but stare at the box score and see a Cardinals team that won the turnover battle 4-0, including 3 interceptions by Trevor Lawrence, and yet the game goes to overtime. Yet you lose in overtime. The 3 interceptions, you turned one of them into points. Trevor Lawrence gift wrapped. I mean, these are interceptions I throw when the new Madden game comes out, and I'm trying to learn how the defensive AI works. He's throwing them right to defenders, making it easy. The Cardinals only turned one of those picks into points. Now, yes, they did have the fumble recovery early in the game that was a touchdown. Granted, they did score 2 touchdowns off of turnovers, but the 3 interceptions, 2 of them directly led to just quick give the ball back to Jacksonville. Didn't take much time off the clock. Didn't score points. The first interception that Trevor Lawrence throws in the game comes in the 3rd quarter. Immediately after that, a 3-and-out. 3 plays, -4 yards, ball right back to Jacksonville with a 14-10 deficit. They immediately scored to make it 17-14. Did nothing with the interception. 17-14. After punting, after the touchdown, an interception again by Trevor Lawrence. Back-to-back drives. 2 of 3 drives in that 3rd quarter, interceptions. What do? 3-and-out. 3 plays, -8 yards. You got gift-wrapped opportunities to put this game away. Up 14-10, a chance to go up 11 points at home. 17-14, a chance to retake the lead. Couldn't do it. Now, he did take the lead later on after the 3rd interception from Trevor Lawrence, but you had a chance. Could you imagine if 2 of those 2 interceptions turn into field goals, one of them turns into a touchdown? We're talking about a totally different game. 4 turnovers for Jacksonville. You turned it in to 14 points. but you missed 2 opportunities in the second half. And you look at this game and you ask yourself, does a healthy Arizona Cardinals team win that game? I don't know. I'm also left wondering, if you can't win that game yesterday, if you can't win a game in which you force 4 turnovers, if you can't win a game in which 2 of those turnovers directly lead to touchdowns, if you can't win that game, what game on your schedule the rest of the way can you win? You have Tampa this week, maybe a compromised Tampa with Baker Mayfield. Who knows how long he's going to be out for? You've got the Rams a couple times. They look like the best team in the NFC. You have, what is it? You got Houston on your schedule, I believe.
Houston.
It's a Houston team that's playing much better football as of late. If you can't win that game yesterday, when you win the turnover battle, when you win the time of possession battle, if you can't win that game, what game can you win? We are now talking about a football team that has lost 8 of their last 9 games. We thought the Dallas win on Monday night was a turning point, maybe salvaging the competitiveness of this season. Now we can call that game what it was. It was an outlier for both teams, because look at the way the Cowboys have played since then, and look at the way the Cardinals played before and after that. Now, yeah, they showed the fight. They checked that box for us this week. But the results keep mounting, and the results keep looking the same. It's another close loss for the Arizona Cardinals, which I guess is better than what we saw the last 2 weeks, but it was exactly what we saw before the win against Dallas. All of these one-score losses. This is a team that, let's face it, it doesn't matter who's under center. It doesn't matter who's healthy. It doesn't matter who's available. This team doesn't know how to win close games. And to me, that is a reflection of coaching once again. I don't want to get too much on Jonathan Gannon, because we said on Friday what we wanted to see from this team, and this team has not quit on the coaching staff. It is very clear they are still playing hard for Gannon and the rest of this staff. That is not up for debate. That is not up for interpretation, at least right now. If we had to have a conversation about Jonathan Gannon's future today, I would not say that a reason to move on from him is because he has lost the locker room, because the team has quit on him. I started to have those questions after the last 2 weeks. This was a bounce back effort in that regard. But if we were having the Jonathan Gannon conversation today, we would still bring up, you're now what, 3-8 this season? You are looking at the rest of the schedule, trying to find where the wins are going to come from. You're talking about another season that's going to be wasted. You're talking about another year that's going to end with an excuse. Year 1, it was, first year, got to clean things up. Year 2, it was, yeah, they played better, but they were just ahead of schedule. Now the excuse in year 3 is going to be injuries. Got to get their guy in at quarterback. By the way, Jacoby Brissett in some ways is their guy at quarterback. Handpicked him to be the backup for this exact reason. So it's just a mixed bag of a game. Yes, did they do what we asked them to do on Friday? Yeah. So I don't want to criticize too harshly, but it is yet another loss that is piling up for this team, this organization, and yet it is another close loss. We've just returned to the way this team was playing in the first half, and let's face it, wasn't good enough then. So I don't know what to do with yesterday's game. I really don't.
I don't know if there is much you can do with it. It's one of those that, okay, they showed you a little fight. You lost the game again. This time, okay, they got out of the fourth quarter, Chris. Lost it in overtime. So now you still can't win when the game's on the line and you need it most. And like a team that very possibly could go 3-14. And by the way, started 2-0. Could go 1-14 in their last 15 games.
Yeah, I just, you can't look at the rest of this season and pick the Cardinals to win any of these games. You just can't.
They're not going to be favored in a single one.
And yesterday was a game that we thought, if you could hang around in, if you can compete with the Jags, you could find a way to win that game. It was absolutely on the table, and that's exactly what they did, and yet they still fell short. It's the Bucs this week. It's the Rams the week after that. It's the Texans, Falcons, Bengals, Rams. Maybe the Bengals, maybe the Falcons. Those are the 2 games you're circling. One of those games is in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's probably going to be back by then. The other is a home game against Atlanta, who snapped a 5-game losing streak yesterday, and I don't want to do the NFL Rewind ahead of the NFL Rewind, but looked much better with Kirk Cousins under center yesterday.
And Joe Burrow is expected to play this week, by the way.
Right. I mean,
so he's going to be back into the swing of things by the time they play the Cardinals.
If you can't win yesterday's game, what game can you win? And I've said this all season long. Now, remember, last Monday, it was around this time, I said I'm breaking up with Jonathan Gannon and Monty. And I don't want to rehash that conversation here today. But one of the reasons why I said I'm done is that the results start to speak for themselves at a certain point. You can excuse make for maybe the first year and a half, 2 years, when you're a brand new head coach brought in to a situation like Jonathan Gannon found himself in when he got this job. When Monty got this job. At some point, the worm turns. At some point, I now have to evaluate you on this team's results. And if these results continue to stack up, if we continue to talk loss after loss after loss, it's easy to say right now nothing's changing. It's easy right now to say status quo. Is it going to be easy to say that when this team maybe is 3-14, 4-13, and has a similar, if not worse, record than when Gannon got here his first year? Can we imagine that for just a second? It's easy right now. Still a lot of runway to go in this season. Still a lot of weeks for them to pick off a win there, a win here, a win there, maybe get to 5 and salvage it just a little bit. But these losses continue to stack up. It gets harder and harder. It becomes more challenging to maintain the status quo. It gets harder and harder for them to just run it back. It just sends a terrible message. So, yeah, I guess you can say, I'm sitting there watching the game yesterday, Evan, and I'm like, they're in it. They're doing what we asked. And then you see the way they handled the last drive at the end of the game. Then you get into the decision on 4th and 4, the play call. And trust me, we thought about talking about it to open the show today and mentioning it here in the overall recap of the game. That play is being debated so wildly right now that we are going to open hour number 2 just talking about that play, because I think it is a fascinating conversation into understanding why coaches do what they do and understanding what actually happened on that play. Because I tend to think I'm going to have an outlier opinion on that play, the 4th and 4 incomplete pass to Weaver that ended the game. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But you're watching the game and you're seeing this team just fight and be in it. And by the way, couldn't run the ball yesterday, 2.8 yards a carry. Just couldn't move the ball on the ground. Michael Wilson had another great day. So 2 straight weeks of that. Again, another positive from this game. Showed fight. And you'll, as a coaching staff, you showed me, okay, we saw how great Michael Wilson was. We made that a focal point of what we wanted to do this week. And he was a very important piece down the stretch there when they needed catches to keep drives alive. He was the guy Jacoby Brissett was looking towards. Maybe not on the final play, but he was very much in the second half a focal point of what they wanted to do. So there is some good that came out of yesterday's game, but it's wrapped up in this, yeah, it was better than the last 2 weeks. And I thought we were past that. I thought we were past that being the bar that this team needed to clear. And so, yes, I can't be that upset because they did what we asked them to do, but you feel a little uneasy about it because they missed another chance to win a football game, just like they did in San Francisco, just like they did against Green Bay, just like they did against Indy, just like they did against Tennessee. Now this game just goes on that list. It avoided the list of Seattle and San Francisco, but it just went on the other list. The list of all of the games that if the results are flipped, we are having a very different conversation today. We're talking about the Cardinals, the way Jacksonville Sports Talk Radio today is talking about the Jags.
You think they're happy?
Oh, they're over the moon. 7, what are they, 7-4 now this season?
Yeah, but like
by the way,
it's one of those things. Like,
let me make something very clear.
Trevor was terrible
he
yesterday.
Stinks.
He stinks.
He's not good. This was my first time in a long time sitting down watching a full Trevor Lawrence experience.
I haven't done that all year. He stinks.
They are moving on from him.
I just want to say very clearly, give me the quarterback playing tonight over Trevor.
Liam Cohen did it again.
He really did.
Where he had the look of, what are we doing? For the second straight week, he had this look of just bewilderment, puzzled as to what Trevor Lawrence and the offense was doing. They had to burn. They also, weirdly coached game for Jacksonville. Early in the second half, had to burn 2 timeouts early. Didn't have those in the back pocket.
They are one of those teams where they're like ASU in a sense, where ASU at the end of the game is really bad and does things throughout the game. You're like, that was really bad situation. Like, and then they win. You're like, yeah, they just win.
I'll give them a little grace because it's a first-year coaching staff, right?
No,
so
100%.
If this is year 5, you can't be doing that. But they burn those 2 timeouts, and I'm like, boy, that's going to come back to haunt them. Like, they're going to need those late in the game. You can tell you've been watching football long enough when a team burns a timeout like 5 minutes into the third quarter, you're like, they're going to need that timeout in the fourth quarter. I don't know how we're going to get there, but there's going to be 3 minutes, and they're going to need that timeout to stop the clock, and the clock's just going to run, and those are going to be precious seconds that they needed at the end of the game.
And they're kind of fun because they do things like that. Where, like, they're not good enough to crush teams.
No. So you're going to have the game come down to the wire. But, yeah, I thought Lawrence was – I'm glad he got Parker Washington involved late. Needed him for my fantasy team yesterday. Was happy to see that. But I think they're going to move on from him. I mean, the turnovers, they're not just turnovers. They're just brutal.
I mean,
the pick that he threw to Budda Baker, he threw it right at him.
I was going to say, some of the worst turnovers I've ever seen.
And that doesn't even include the fumble for Walter Nolan's touchdown.
It's really bad.
By the way, shout out to Walter Nolan for the touchdown. It wasn't all bad yesterday. Walter Nolan, Michael Wilson, you showed fight.
A lot of good. You got yourself in a position to send the game to overtime on a good throw. Yeah.
Now, I think you mismanaged that a little bit.
A little.
I mean, I think we were a little nonchalant when we got inside the 15-yard line.
How about that? They got that to like, what, the 8?
And they were just like...
And they were like, all right.
Oh, sure.
We'll see you in overtime.
Yeah, we'll just play for the field goal. It felt like...
So bad.
It felt like playing not to lose instead of trying to go for the win when you're a checks notes 2-8 football team.
I was going to say,
or
that's
3-7 football team.
That's the part I'm confused about. They played yesterday.
Like they were 8-2 trying to hold on to the win.
They played like the Eagles did, who are in a very different spot.
Don't worry.
We're going to get to it. And I know Code's already in the chat.
I have a major announcement to make during the NFL Rewind today about the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think you know where this is going. Major announcement coming up.
Dunchain, I'll hang it on him.
In about 15 minutes.
You won't see him the second weekend of January.
I'm not.
Is it the third?
I'm not hinting at anything right now. I'm just saying major announcement about the Philadelphia Eagles coming up during the NFL Rewind about 15 minutes from now. Just promising everybody. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to hang out with us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream, where you can chat away over there as well. When we come back, boy, was it a perfect weekend for the Phoenix Suns. That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
And LSU said, yeah, we've had enough. They've had enough of the experience of Brian Kelly losing 3 out of the last 4, and 2 of which he lost to his coordinator. They were ex-coordinators of him. And the last 3 coaches they've had, they've all won national championship within 4 years. Coach O did it. Les Miles did it. Nick Saban did it. Brian Kelly did not. Yeah, out. Now the question is, who do they bring in?
Back Coach O.
Can't wait to see who that's going to be. No, I think he burned in bridges.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, EMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
Right now at Del Taco, you can get 2 grilled chicken tacos for just $3. You hear that? That's the real sizzle of a real grill. At Del Taco, we freshly grill our marinated chicken right here in our kitchens. Not some factory far, far away. It's what makes our grilled chicken tacos a top seller for over 30 years. So come get 2 grilled chicken tacos, made to order for only $3. A real good deal we can all use right now. Only at Del Taco. Del, yeah. Price and participation may vary.
Hey, Benjamin, we've got a surprise for you.
What?
You've got brothers.
Huh?
$50 and $200 bills just like you.
Hey,
Hey.
what's up? What?
We just got them for joining America First Credit Union and opening a new checking account.
And you're all going to live together at America First.
What?
This is nice.
For a limited time, new members get a $250 cash bonus when they open a checking account with direct deposit or $50 with a youth checking account. So head to AmericaFirst.com and get your money working today. Membership eligibility, terms, and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
The Kia Season of New Traditions year-end sales event is going on now at Mark Kia in
in Scottsdale.
Right now, receive 0% APR for 72 months on a brand new 2025 Kia EV6 and 2026 Kia EV9. You heard right, 0%. And if you're thinking about selling or trading your current vehicle, please give us a call. Our data shows that 9 out of 10 times we offer more.
Don't risk losing $1,000 or more by not making that simple phone call. The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia. By offer expires December 1st, 2025.
Rome here with your Rome Report. Huge ups today to the Houston Texans for keeping their playoff hopes alive last night, while at the same time killing what was left of the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl dream. The Texans are now over 500, and they're right back in the playoff mix, while the Bills dropped to 7-4, and Bills Mafia, as much as I hate to say it, and I'm not saying anything you don't already know, but your Super Bowl window just slammed shut. And it's time to move on from Coach Sean McDermott and blow it all up before you waste what's left of Josh Allen's Hall of Fame career. Shoot, before you get Allen killed, which was a distinct possibility last night. Davis Mills should not be outplaying Josh Allen, but he did. And that's an indictment on almost everybody there not named Josh Allen. Hey, Mafia, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. Nobody stays the same, and this crew is definitely not getting better. And if nothing changes, then nothing changes. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. The holiday season is always more jolly with Prize Picks. Every sport, every play, every stat matters just a little more. On Prize Picks, you simply pick 2 to 6 players, choose more or less, and watch your lineups light up like the holidays. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROME and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 in bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. Trust the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the products for your next oil change. Right now, get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a Wix filter for $35.99. Plus, get a $15 gift card after rebate. Limits apply. See your O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It's becoming somewhat of a daily tradition here on the program. Got the trusty Sharpie. We're going to add 2 more W's to the schedule because it was a Friday night come from behind win against Minnesota. And last night it was a win against the San Antonio Spurs that have the Phoenix Suns on a 3-game winning streak going into their matchup tonight against Houston. We'll preview that a little bit later on here in the program. But let's go in order. First, big win on Friday in the NBA Cup for the Phoenix Suns. Now 2-0. They are in second place in the group because of the point differential, but a huge win to pick up because they have 2 more games. In fact, this Wednesday and Friday, they have the final 2 NBA Cup group stage games, Sacramento and Oklahoma City. So you're hoping that they can get to 3-1 somehow, and then depending on point differential, could punch their ticket into the knockout stage. But on Friday, it was a tale of 2 halves, really, for the Phoenix Suns. It was a first half where they looked every bit as good as they have looked all season long against a really good opponent. And you felt great going into halftime. They had answered the call. They had continued the great stretch of play from the game against Portland, and they were doing it against a team that was in that upper of the middle class of the NBA in Minnesota. You felt really good about what you were seeing. And then in the second half, it was a totally different story. They allowed Minnesota to get back into the game because, again, Minnesota is a good team. Minnesota has talent. Minnesota has depth. They've got stars. They've got players that can mount comebacks. Some of these teams, you get up on them in the second half, and you can lean on them, and you take them out of the game. They've been doing that. They did a little bit against Portland, against New Orleans, against the Clippers, against Indiana, against Dallas in their current state. This is why this stretch was so crucial for this team. We wanted to see how they would handle it. And Minnesota rallied. They made the big comeback, and then it was an absolute epic collapse for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They had a 113 to 105 lead with 49.3 seconds to go. Royce O'Neal makes a 2 to make it 113-107. A Gillespie steal off of an Anthony Edwards bad pass. Jordan Goodwin makes a 3. It's 113-110. A turnover, Julius Randle. A 2-pointer for Goodwin makes it 113-112. It is another steal off of a Julius Randle bad pass. And then the Suns make a bucket with 6.4 seconds to go after Anthony Edwards misses a pair of free throws, and they win 114-113. So great win in the NBA Cup, keeping those dreams alive for us here on the program. It's a great win because it's against a team that now is your contemporary, because the Phoenix Suns get a seat at the table now. Not in the play-in anymore, the 6th seed in the Western Conference. But here's the other thing I was thinking about that game, watching it on Friday. Do you know last year's team? Yeah, last year's team is Minnesota this year. Last year's team would have had what happened to Minnesota happen to them, because last year's team couldn't finish games. Last year's team in the fourth quarter would turn the ball over at will. Last year's team couldn't close out a lead. The Phoenix Suns are a different basketball team, and last year's team doesn't do that. Last year's team doesn't win that game. Last year's team just rolls over. Or last year's team is in the position Minnesota was in, and they give it away. So that was Friday night. You're feeling great going into the weekend. You got the NBA Cup win. Now can you just get one of two against San Antonio and Houston and go 2-1 in this stretch? What'd we say? 2-1? Great. That's a win in my book. And then you get to Sunday night. You get to last night. Jalen Green's still out. You don't have Grayson Allen still. Ryan Dunn is out. I mean, you don't stand a chance, right? With those three players out, you don't stand a chance against San Antonio, even if they don't have Wemby. Even if they don't have Castle. You don't stand a chance against that San Antonio team. Well, don't tell that to this year's Phoenix Suns team, because they went out there and they beat San Antonio for the second time this season. And they are now playing with house money going into tonight's game against Houston, which we'll preview in hour number 2 of the show. But they just keep doing it. They just keep finding ways. So now we've got a Phoenix Suns team that is 11-6. We've got a Phoenix Suns team that is in the 6th spot in the Western Conference. By the way, for those of you keeping track at home, the same distance between Phoenix in first place than Phoenix in being out of the play-in tournament. That's how well Phoenix played. Stuck themselves right in the middle of things. Just a half game out of the 4 spot. With a win tonight, can shoot all the way up. Now, producer Evan wants to go to a place I'm not ready to go to just yet. He's ready to put the Suns in a conversation I'm not ready to put just yet if they beat Houston tonight. But this team, with each passing day, continues to impress us over and over and over again. And so now I look at this week and I say, you can beat Houston tonight. You should beat Sacramento on Wednesday. Can you get to 3-1 in the NBA Group Cup? Because, again, Oklahoma City, that's a tough team. Even on your best day, fully healthy, I think it's going to be tough to beat Oklahoma City. But just be competitive in that game. And then you got Denver to close out the month. And this is setting up to be just an all-time great month for the Phoenix Suns. Because it was an all-time great weekend. 2-0 was a perfect weekend. Tonight, it's about the cherry on top. We'll talk about that a little bit later on here in the program. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we recap all of the action yesterday in the NFL. It's the Week 12 NFL Rewind. We get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Florence and the Machine presents the Everybody Scream Tour. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Saturday, May 9th. The incomparable Florence and the Machine returns with special guest Mannequin Pussy. On sale now at livenation.com. The new album, Everybody Scream, available now. Everybody Scream.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger, in my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus, branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month, and I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite, too. Extra value meals are back.
Get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles extra value meal with hash browns and a small premium roast coffee for $5 at McDonald's for a limited time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Promotion pricing may be lower than meal pricing.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers, it's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
This is what I mean when I say that was a collapse for the ages. An all-time tank job. Not only did the Giants lead 19-0 going into the fourth quarter, they scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, and they still lost. The Giants were 99.8% to win that game, according to ESPN. But according to the Broncos, the number was actually 0.0%.
Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The Week 12 NFL Rewind, our trip around all of the action that we saw yesterday. The tour guide to take us on this journey, producer Evan. Where shall we start with the Week 12 NFL Rewind?
We start in Chicago in a great game. The Bears outlast the Steelers 31-28. They moved to 8-3 on the season. Get it done at home.
Do you know the Breaking Bad meme? He can't keep getting away with it. That's how I feel about Caleb Williams right now.
19 of 35, 239, 3 touchdowns, and I don't know how.
I mean, my guy can't complete more than like 62% of his passes. And yet here we are with the Chicago Bears team that's now, 8-3 atop the NFC North? He can't keep getting away with it.
The 3 seed playing for the 2 seed this week.
I don't see a world where this version of quarterback play gets this team far in the playoffs. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I just can't see it.
They gave up 28 points this week. I thought that was probably one of the worst games their defense has played. That defense has been pretty good all year long.
Mason Rudolph on the other side.
And Mason threw some great balls this week.
And they did have the 7 points off of the strip sack in the end zone.
They did.
From TJ Watt. By the way, congrats to TJ.
Yeah, past his brother.
Yeah, the Watt family sack leader.
That's impressive.
With his brother on the call, too.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Which was cool.
Patriots traveled to Cincinnati,
What
and
are we
it
doing,
ended
New
up
England?
being kind of a dogfight.
What are we
Patriots
doing?
got it done 26-20 on the road.
New England, what are we doing? This game had no business being this close.
Playing with their food again, by the way.
Playing with their food? They were down like 10-0. They were down like 2 scores in this game going into the second quarter. I mean, 9 in a row. I still think they're the best team in the AFC, but man, played with their food a little bit there. Also, Joe Flacco threw one of the worst interceptions you'll see a quarterback throw all year long.
It's the experience.
I mean, it was the most choreographed pick six I think I've ever seen.
In a devastating loss after a Jameis awesome touchdown.
My word.
Jahmyr Gibbs rips one off in overtime, and the Lions take it 34-27 with some free football.
Yeah, and then you know what the parting gift was? The Giants said, we are not watching this defense anymore. They fired the defensive coordinator today. Said, we cannot have this. So we fired the head coach. Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator, is now the interim. He's seen 2 weeks of this defense and said, I've had enough. We got Jameis Winston running trick plays and catching touchdowns, and not only catching passes,
breaking
tackles, spin moves, and yet we can't win. Now, by the way, I appreciate the Detroit Lions because it is because of this pick that we are now tied in the picks. Could have a big lead, if not for a team that I have an announcement about here coming up. Jahmyr Gibbs scored me 55 fantasy points yesterday.
Yeah,
which I needed because do you know who's on the other side of me? The guy I was playing had Jackson Smith and Jigba, and watching that point total just go up and up and up was not great.
Yeah, these are probably the 2 best players this week.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions.
Minnesota traveled to Green Bay and couldn't do anything. Green Bay took it 23-6 at home.
Minnesota, the most intriguing team this offseason. They are a mess at the quarterback position. A mess. And they have to get this right because I think they'll lose Justin Jefferson if they don't.
I think so too.
They have to get somebody in that can provide competent levels of quarterback play because it's not there for J.J. McCarthy, and they cannot roll into next year with him as the unimpeded number 1 starter. Somebody has to be brought in for competition, or somebody needs to be brought in so that he can take a seat and learn.
Frustrations are clearly boiling over.
Oh, it is. A mess is the word I would use to describe them right now.
The Seahawks get a win on the road in Nashville in a game that was probably closer than it should have been. Cam Ward probably played his best game in the NFL to this point, 28 of 42 for 256 and the 1 touchdown.
Stupid late touchdown.
And the story remains to be Jackson Smith and Jigba. 8 grabs, 167, 2 touchdowns.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is a top 3 receiver in the sport right now.
Yeah.
He might be the best receiver in the sport.
Certainly the best.
I mean, he's already set the single season mark for the Seattle Seahawks with games to play. He's been excellent. I just wish I got that touch. I wish the defense didn't give up that touchdown late.
Yeah, that killed you in the points.
Yeah, I was a couple plays away from having a clean week.
In my 1-point play this week, the Colts blew a lead to the Chiefs. The Chiefs edged them out 23-20 in overtime. They covered the 3.5. Weren't able to get it done.
Had it the whole way. Colts plus 3.5. What do you want from us? We told you on Friday. Lock of the century. Colts plus 3.5.
It really was.
Now we did say they were going to win the game outright, so that part of it didn't work. Didn't age well for us. But Colts plus 3.5. Had it the whole way. They gave that one away.
They really did.
That's a tough one.
That's one that's going to be hard to swallow.
Because depending on how the 2 seasons go for those teams from here on out, you can look at that as potentially the turning point for Kansas City, and you could look back and maybe say that's where it started to fall off the rails for Indy. Depending on how it plays out, right?
You're probably right. The Jets travel to Baltimore. They lose 23-10, and the Ravens are above 500 and first in the division.
Yeah, Baltimore does it again. They don't play great, but they find a way to win. Lamar Jackson is compromised right now as a quarterback. 0 quarterback design runs for him yesterday. When plays broke down, he did not want to run out of the pocket. He did not want to take off, had both of his ankles taped. We know he's been dealing with a hamstring injury as well. He's just been dealing with a lot, and it is impacting the way he's playing the position. And so far, so good for the Ravens. They've been able to battle back, and now they're in first place. But if they want to really make noise, they need Lamar Jackson to be healthy.
Cleveland goes on the road and gets a win over the Raiders, 24-10. Shedeur Sanders, first NFL start, 11 of 20 for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
You want to talk about another mess? The Raiders are a mess.
A mess.
Fired Chip Kelly this morning or late after the game.
Not going to say he...
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
another team he was completely bamboozled into giving him a lot of money.
I mean, I don't know how much he was making as the OC.
$6 million.
That's a lot of money. They're a mess. Shedeur, first win as a starter, played well. Managed the game. Took care of business.
Yeah, he didn't really need to do much, right?
No.
The defense had 10 sacks.
Yeah, well, because, they got Myles Garrett over there.
Who I really feel bad because I think he would have a case for MVP if the team was slightly better.
Well,
he's been that good.
Yeah, well, he wanted to stay there.
Sorry, never mind.
We just talked about that game.
Yeah,
Go
we
back
did.
and listen to the first segment of the program.
The Eagles go on the road and blow a 21-point lead and fire everybody. Cowboys take it 24-21 at home.
I'm out on the Eagles. That team is done. That team should be nowhere near a conversation about going back to the Super Bowl. That team will lose the first playoff game they play this year. That team had a 21-0 lead, and they acted like they were playing against a high school team and that they could just rest on their laurels and get themselves to a victory. It was the most dominating start to a game that I've seen in a really long time from this Eagles team. Just had the Cowboys number from the word go. I felt great. Everything I said about why I thought the Eagles minus the 3 was the most mispriced number all week
was right up until halftime.
On the money going into halftime. Even after the touchdown 21-7, I felt great. You don't score a single point in the second half. Once again, we're talking about an offense that just cannot find a way to score points when they need to. That team is, and we'll talk about the team that's the best team in the NFC here in a second. They're not even close to that team right now.
The play design in the second half, in the whole game, it's a joke. They run, and this is not me, this is the national media, this is everybody who watches the game. They run a high school offense. I'm telling you, my high school ran a better offense from schematic.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great whatsoever. I'm out. I'm done.
Kirk Cousins.
Oh, back. Baby.
Welcome back.
Back.
He gets it done. 24-10 win over the Saints in New Orleans.
That's right. 5-game losing streak snapped. And it's a bad look when this offense looks a lot better with Kirk Cousins under center.
It's a really bad look for Michael Penix.
It's just a bad look for the organization.
Yep. Tampa Bay travels to LA and they get
you want to
crushed.
talk about a 3-point play that
a
went sideways.
34-7 win for the Rams.
You never had a chance in this game. You put 3 points on this, and you could have went to bed after the first quarter. It was over for you. You didn't stand a chance.
I didn't stand a chance.
Because that's the best team in the NFC. That might be the best team in football. With Stafford playing like that, that's the best team in football.
Stafford's going to win the MVP. We'll see. McVay has the one Super Bowl. Other than that, they've come up a little small in the playoff at times. Can they do it?
But last year, right? Last year, they almost went on the road and beat the Eagles. This year, right now,
they're at home.
The road goes through LA.
And
I think is
that's the biggest
benefit.
thing. Because I don't know, and just knowing that the other teams are contenders, right? Even Chicago, like going to Chicago and playing in January, that's going to be a different feel.
I won't diminish the fact that I think it's very important for LA to have home field advantage and to be able to play out in LA and out in the Dome. Absolutely. I absolutely think it matters. But right now, that's exactly how it would play out.
And which is huge for them.
So
I think that's
not
all.
Say that they're the favorite in the NFC? How can you not say that's the best team in football? All roads go through them.
I think they are.
And they get 2 games against the Cardinals here down the stretch. So 2 more wins.
They have the game against Seattle. That one will be big again. They have a game against Detroit, right? I don't know if that's home or away.
I don't have the Rams schedule
I can pull it
memorized.
up.
But yeah, so some tough games, but they also get 2 against the Cardinals. But right now, that is the best team in football. And that is your Week 12 NFL Rewind. When we come back, wrapping up hour number 1 here of the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. We've got buy or sell the hottest takes in the Valley. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
Oklahoma City taking out everybody on their way to a championship. One of the youngest, I think they average 26 years old, Rich. As long as they have the Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan, Gene, or at least one person on that team, hopefully it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, they have a chance. And listen, it's human nature to be the best and think, I'll be the best again. And then you fall short. I'm going to say Oklahoma City will not go back-to-back.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Bad Omens. Do you feel love? North American Tour 2026. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, March 24th. Bad Omens. With special guests, Beartooth and President. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Bad Omens, live in Glendale.
At Zoo Lights, the Phoenix Zoo has everything you need to celebrate the season. Embrace the holiday spirit as millions of twinkling lights transform the zoo into a winter wonderland. With over 2 miles of glimmering tree-lined trails, dozens of animal lanterns, and the tallest floating tree in North America, featuring an all-new Lake Lights show. Warm up with s'mores, sip hot cocoa, and of course, get your photo with Santa. Zoo Lights, presented by SRP. Timeless tradition, endless wonder. Get tickets now at phoenixzoo.org.
Does your student struggle in a traditional school setting? For nearly 25 years, Primavera Online has helped Arizona K-12 students thrive with an accredited tuition-free education from home. Learn more at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
During the year-end sales event at Scottsdale Mitsubishi, you can receive 0% APR for 60 full months on all new 2025 Mitsubishi models. You heard right, 0%.
Think how much you'll save when you pay no interest. The name to remember? Scottsdale Mitsubishi, Scottsdale Mitsubishi.
Only 50% of Arizonans believe their health insurance will cover them in a major medical emergency, like a car accident or an unexpected life-changing diagnosis. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona aims to change that perception. AZ Blue often takes care of more than 99% of hospital charges in major emergencies, protecting you and your family from devastating financial consequences. To learn more about how AZ Blue protects its members, head to azblue.com/true story.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs, 2 doubles. They also walked him 5 times, 4 intentionally. They've gotten to the point where he's getting Bonds treatment. I want you to pitch in shame. If you're going to intentionally walk him, I want you to throw the 4 pitches that look silly because you don't want to face him. I don't want it to be, hey, we're going to walk him and I point him to first base. Nope. I want you to acknowledge that you can't get him out and you throw those 4 pitches.
Weekdays, 7 to 10 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
Wrapping up hour number 1 here, the lunch break on KDUS AM 1060. Thanks for hanging out with us today on the show. It's time for a little buy or sell, the hottest takes in the Valley. Producer Evan puts them all together. And I have 2 choices, buy or sell those takes. I have no idea what's on the docket today. My guess is we're going to hit everything but baseball, would be my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Please.
Which in this town is only 2.
Well, it's just football and basketball.
Matthew Stafford has punched his ticket to the Hall of Fame with how he's played this year.
Say that one more time.
Matthew Stafford has punched his ticket to Canton, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
With how he's played this year.
I mean, I don't think he needed it, but this is certainly helping. But yeah, I think Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer.
Been arguing that for years.
Yeah, I will buy.
Kyler Murray will start week 1 for a different NFC team next year.
Kyler Murray will start for a different NFC team next year. Who needs a quarterback? Who needs a quarterback in the NFC? Nobody in the East. You go to the South. Atlanta, maybe, but I don't know if they want to take on that kind of money. New Orleans, maybe, but I think right now with their current draft position, they would rather just reset and draft somebody. The Vikings are probably the team. No, I will sell the take.
The Vikings were the team I was thinking
Yeah, it's
about.
just the only team that I think makes sense, but I'll sell.
Can KOC get it done with him?
Yeah, I just don't know if the way Kyler plays
fits that offense
is where Kevin O'Connell wants to put all of his eggs into that basket.
Miami. I just have a feeling he's going to start for Miami next year, too.
Yeah, Miami could make some sense.
If the Suns win tonight, they will be real contenders in the Western Conference.
Yeah, you've been trying to do this all day today. I'm going to sell the take for now. And
I mean, non-believer.
Yeah, I'll be the non-believer. I'll be the negative Nancy. That's fine. It's still too small of a sample size to do that. And I think it's unfair to the team with how well they've played to then lop that expectation on them to then, if they don't do that, pull the rug out and say, we're disappointed in you. I think that is unfair right now, 17 games into the season. They're playing great. I think getting to the postseason and having home playoff games is on the table. That was not how we were talking about this team at the beginning of the year. Let's just accept what is on the plate right now and stop trying to add more to it. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Everyone's going to try to pile more onto the plate. I'm happy with the plate we've got right now.
This is the most impressive season in Devin Booker's career to this point.
He's playing statistically better than he's ever played in his career. I think this is an important stage of his career. This is back to being his team. And I think he needed to announce to the world that this was back to being his team. And he's certainly doing it with the way that he's playing. The team is certainly doing it with their results thus far. And so I think the timing of what this year represents, I think the overall results he's getting as an individual player speak to this. And you add all that up, and I would agree. Yeah, I think I'll buy the take. I think this is his most impressive season thus far. Now, it's still early. We're 17 games in, but he's answering the call in every single way, right? I mean, because they're also dealing with Jalen Green being out, and he was supposed to be the guy that helped Devin Booker with the scoring, and they didn't have Ryan Dunn and Grayson Allen the other night, and it still didn't matter. It didn't matter because of the way Devin Booker is playing.
If ASU gets to the Big 12 championship and wins, this season is far more impressive than anything they did last year.
I'm gonna get a little. I'm getting a little technical on here. I'm gonna sell the take because it's already more impressive than last year.
Very technical.
We are going into the final week of the season with this team in its current state, mathematically alive. And trust me, we'll break down the scenarios in hour number 2 of the show of what ASU needs. Because remember, we got a short week this week. We've only got 3 shows. We got a lot to get to over the course of the next 3 days. We'll tell you exactly what the Sun Devils need this weekend to return to defend their Big 12 championship. So I will sell the take because I don't think they need that to already have a more impressive year than last year. We're already there.
Already at a more impressive season. I just can't stress this enough. This is a team that, yes, lost their quarterback. Yes, lost the best receiver. Lost 3 guys up front in the first 3 weeks. Lost defensive starters up and down the field. Corners, linebackers, edge rushers for multiple games this year. What else do you want this team to prove to you? Is this something they can still build momentum on? Like a season like this.
Sure, absolutely. Especially if Kenny stays, right? If Kenny's not going anywhere, which all intents and purposes sounds like that's the case, then they can absolutely build on this. because it's not just a Big 12 title game and a college football playoff appearance, and then you follow up the next year and you stumble your way to 7-5 in a nice bowl game and you win that. You, for the second straight year, in your second year in the conference, are competing to play for the Big 12 title. You did it last year and you won the trophy. You're doing it again this year. Sam Levitt out, Jordan Tyson missing time, the 3 losses, all of it. It doesn't matter how we got here. We're here. And I think the most impressive thing is a couple of weeks ago, they lost Sam Levitt, and none of us thought this was going to be on the table. And yet here we are in hour number 2 of the program, going to go through the math, going to go through the different scenarios that can lead to the Sun Devils playing again in the Big 12 title game.
And the crazy part is it doesn't feel that like you don't need 5 things to go your way.
No, you need to.
And we'll get into that.
You need a couple of things. And you certainly were on track to getting those things this past weekend. Unfortunately, you had every single result go against you that you needed. Outside of you beating Colorado, every single result did not go the Sun Devils'
And there
way.
was a point where you and I were texting.
Yeah, I jinxed it. I texted you way too early. I texted you with Kansas State up 10, and I said, boy, the Sun Devils are getting exactly what they need. And sure enough, from the moment that text message was delivered,
the text was Kansas State's going to do the thing.
Right.
And then I think they immediately gave up like a 10-play, 70-yard drive. It was like, oh.
It was immediate that Kansas State forgot how to play football. Like the moment I sent the text, they just forgot how to function as a team.
Thanksgiving weekend is the best weekend of the year.
Thanksgiving weekend is the best weekend of the year. I mean, I love this holiday, so I'm going to buy just because this is my favorite holiday
I think it
of the
is
year.
by far the best weekend of the year. Hear me out. Thursday, you obviously get Thanksgiving and football.
You got 3 football games on
Friday,
Thursday.
you now get NFL football and rivalries.
Yep.
And then Saturday, it's rivalry weekend. Sunday, you get football. It's a 4-day weekend with all the sports. It's a perfect weekend.
And we've got an NBA Cup game on Friday.
And an NBA Cup game.
Could be huge in Oklahoma City.
2-0 in the Cup.
Could be 3-0 by the time we get to Wednesday, by the time we get to Friday. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. We'll talk about the play from yesterday's Cardinals game next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
For over 60 years, Fisher Tools has been the Valley's trusted source for quality, precision, and power. Family owned and operated for 3 generations, we're proud to be a local Tempe business offering the best tools and supplies for every construction job. With the largest selection of power tools in the Valley, from Milwaukee to Makita to DeWalt and more, we've got everything you need to get the job done right. And with our dielectric glove testing facility on site, you can trust the safety of your gear. Looking for the latest innovations? Join Fisher Tools for our annual customer appreciation event on December 3rd. It's a day packed with product demos, giveaways, and over 30 top vendors from the tool industry. Enjoy a free lunch and hang with the Big Red Radio with free parking, fun, and all the tools you need. We're known for having everything in stock because our slogan is, if we don't have it, we can't sell it. See why we've been the Valley's go-to for tools for over 60 years. Visit Fisher Tools today in-store or online at fishertools.com.
It's frustrating when people intervene on you, but they have problems of their own. It's like when someone sends you a text, but the text comes from their email address. I hate this. Your name at iCloud, they FaceTime you from their email address? Are you calling on a child's iPad?
Emmy-winning comedian John Mulaney announces his new tour, Mr. Whatever. Celebrity Theater, Friday, March 6th. Tickets on sale now at etix.com.
This is Arizona's biggest name in gaming. Whether it's the brilliantly brand new White Tanks or the always spectacular West Valley right down the street, we've got you covered with the hottest slots and tables, state-of-the-art sportsbook, dazzling dining like the legendary Morton's Steakhouse, entertainment, and more. The brand new Desert Diamond White Tanks and Desert Diamond West Valley.
An enterprise of the Donna Automation.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
One study found that half of all clients are unhappy with their lawyer. The number one complaint, a total lack of communication.
That's why we survey our clients and know over 97% are happy. Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert hanging out with you. Thanks for hanging out with us here today on the show. Still debriefing from the Cardinals' overtime loss yesterday, 27-24 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it is the one play from the game, not just because it was the last play of the game, but I do think it is the type of play that generates a lot of conversation. The play call, the decision, the ultimate result of the play, because it was a 4th and 4 just on the outskirts, on the fringes of field goal range for the Cardinals to try to tie the game to make it next score wins. Instead of attempting a longer field goal, Jonathan Gannon and the Cardinals decided to go for it on 4th and 4, and it was a one-on-one ball thrown up to Weaver, and it was an incomplete pass that led to the Cardinals not converting and losing that game. And it is a play that has been dissected. And I will tell you, before discussing this play today, I wanted a chance this morning to look at the All-22, to be able to view the whole field, to be able to view exactly what Jacksonville showed defensively, how the play actually developed, before sharing with you my thoughts on the play. Now, unfortunately, the All-22 was not working this morning. It wasn't working for me. It also wasn't working for producer Evan. And so we kind of just have to go off of the broadcast feed, which we watched again this morning. And I got to tell you, this may be an unpopular opinion. This may bother some of you. Jacoby Brissett did exactly what he's supposed to do on that play. If you watch the playback, now again, the All-22 will show this better if you are somebody who likes watching it, if you have access to NFL Plus, or I think it's NFL Pro, where you can look at this. But the Jags have 2 safeties deep on the play. And those 2 safeties have 2 responsibilities. Those 2 safeties' responsibilities are to make sure they don't get beat over the top, but they are also bracketing 2 of the Cardinals' pass catchers. And so if you watch the play, you will notice that one of the safeties starts to creep towards Trey McBride. So there is a linebacker that is on Trey McBride, but the safety is also in that play to take away Trey McBride, to double him. And Trey McBride runs an in-breaker. He runs a little bit past the first down marker, and then he runs an inside route where if he just sits down, Jacoby Brissett can kind of zip it in there and throw. That's what the route is supposed to be. And Trey McBride does a great job running that route. And then Xavier Weaver is running a deep post, basically. He's on the outside, left hash, and he is running a deep post. So McBride's coming underneath. Weaver's running the deep post. On the right side, it's just Michael Wilson with a corner right up against him on the offensive line. But there is another safety in this play. And that safety is bracketing Michael Wilson to make sure that he is doubled. So they're doubling Wilson, at least from what I'm seeing from the television copy. I need to see the All-22 to make sure I'm correct here. But they're doubling Michael Wilson, and they're doubling Trey McBride. They have a linebacker into, I believe it was Michael Carter in for at the running back. So there's a linebacker there, and there's another linebacker that's taking Greg Dortch, who is up at the line of scrimmage, basically next to Paris Johnson on the play. And so when you see the drop back and you see the play, it is a one read decision from Jacoby Brissett. He is looking at what the safety decides to do with Trey McBride. If the safety starts to come down and crash to bracket and to block off Trey McBride, who can sit that route down and make a nice 8-yard catch, keep the drive going. If he crashes, he has a one-on-one shot with Xavier Weaver and a corner. And you are taught to take those one-on-one opportunities. And the Jacksonville safety on the other side makes a great play, firing across to break the play up. But if not for that safety, Weaver has beat his defender. It's a good throw. It's the right decision considering the play is designed for him to see exactly what that safety does. At least, again, I'm not in the room. I'm not trying to pretend like I know football better than the Arizona Cardinals and what they're doing schematically. I'm just saying, as somebody who has spent time around the game, has spent time talking to people, has spent time breaking down film, and has a, I would say, better than elementary understanding of how this works. That's what I see in the play. That the safety comes crashing down. Now, again, I wish I had the all-22 to see what that safety does, to see if he takes those couple of steps in like it looks like he does. Because if he does do that, it is the play's designed to throw the ball to Xavier Weaver. So if you're angry today at Jacoby Brissett for making that throw, I think your disgust, your anger is misplaced. If you're upset at Jacoby Brissett for not throwing it to, because I've seen this screenshot on social media today of Greg Dortch, and I believe it's Michael Carter, behind the line of scrimmage with a couple of yards of space because their defenders are playing off them a little bit. If you're sharing that screenshot today and you're upset that he didn't throw the check down, that's also not the play's design. He goes to those checkdowns after he looks at McBride and McBride's not there. He looks at the one-on-one shot and the one-on-one shot's not there. That's when he's supposed to look for those two. They called the perfect play against the perfect defense. The defender just made a great play. That other safety read Jacoby's eyes. Now, that's the one part of the all-22 that I would like to see. I would like to see where Jacoby's eyes were looking, because that will determine whether or not he could have looked that safety off a little bit more. But to me, if you are angry about that play, be mad at Drew Petzing and Jonathan Gannon for that being the play call. Do not be mad at the Cardinals for the execution of the play, because I think the play was actually run exactly the way that it is supposed to. That play is designed for either the quick shot to Trey McBride because the safety stays back, or it's designed to take the one-on-one ball and win the football game. Now, you want to be mad at calling that play in that spot when all you need is 5 yards to keep the drive moving, to keep yourself in a position to go for the win? Fine. And I would agree with you that maybe we can have a better play call there. But that play call specifically was executed exactly how it was supposed to be. I have zero issue with the decision Jacoby Brissett made when that was the play that was communicated into his helmet. Now, I think we can do better. I think we can try to draw up a play for Trey McBride or Michael Wilson. I think we can try to draw up a play that is a 7-8 yard shot to keep the drive moving, because you're just on the fringes of field goal range. This isn't, 4th and 4 and we're on our own 35-yard line and we're taking a shot for a big, huge chunk play to set us up. I mean, you're taking a shot for a touchdown where all you need is 5 yards. 5 yards, 6 yards, keeps things moving, keeps things on schedule. You can still play for the field goal, but now you got 3 more chances to keep the drive alive and go for the touchdown. So play call, I don't love. I don't love taking a one-on-one shot with Xavier Weaver to win the football game. I would like that to be Michael Wilson. I would like that to be Trey McBride. I don't mind the execution because I think it's exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, again, I'm doing this with incomplete information. I reserve the right to change my mind. But you and I had the TV broadcast up on my television in my office, and we're screaming at each other about the play. The people had to check on us to see what we were yelling about.
I also think, and I've kind of come to circumstances a little bit with the play a little bit more, because in all honesty, I think that play is drawn up to pick up 6 yards over the middle to Trey McBride.
Oh, the first read on the play is Trey McBride. I think
the
no
Jags
doubt.
Are so committed, rightfully so. We're not going to have Trey beat us here. We're not going to let their best player beat us in this spot. And they crash, and the safety crashes, and it's the right read from Jacoby Brissett. And the one thing we have said that it's really hard to do is follow his eyes.
Oh, and here's why it's so important to say that the play was executed correctly. Because if this is the second quarter of the game and they run this play, that's still the right decision. It's the right throw. It's the right throw. The reason why I think it's going to generate so much controversy and conversation today is, did we need to call that play in that spot? Because I like the play. I like the play design. I like the route tree. I like what we're doing. I like that the first read is to throw to Trey McBride. But you've got to know as a coaching staff, they're probably going to take away Trey McBride in this spot. Like 4th and 4, that side of the field, that area of the field, time, situation, score, they're going to make sure that you can't get the ball to Trey McBride. So you have to know that when you break the huddle calling that play and it's set up the way that it is, because remember, you call the play and as a coaching staff, you start to see the field. So you now know what it looks like you have. You know that it looks like I've got Michael Wilson bracketed, double teamed, and it looks like I've got Trey McBride double teamed. So you can do one of two things. You can either let the play go because you know that if that safety crashes, he's going to take the deep shot to Xavier Weaver because it's the way the play is designed. Or you can say they showed me something, I'm going to call a timeout because they had a timeout left, correct? Pretty sure they did.
Yep.
So you can call a timeout and say, okay, they were going to take away Trey. I don't want to take the deep shot there. We've got to come up with a different play call. But the moment you let Jacoby Brissett snap that ball, it's kind of the way the play is going to. The play is going to go the way it's supposed to go, and it was executed exactly the way it is coached, exactly the way that is taught. Now, again, that's me, radio host, who has dabbled in some film study and has dabbled in listening to how this stuff is put together, and I kind of know what I'm talking about when it comes to this stuff. I'm also doing it with incomplete information because I have not seen the All-22. Perhaps maybe when I see that, it's a bad throw and a bad read. But I don't think so. I think that play went exactly how it is supposed to when it is called. It's just not the spot to call it. And if you do call it and you see exactly what you saw Jacksonville set up in, I think you got to call a timeout and regroup. And I see Michael over on YouTube saying Dortch out of the backfield. You as a coach, that's a check down. That's like the last resort play. You make that throw last resort, and it was a clean pocket. Jacoby had the time to make the throw, so he's going to air it out. But secondly, in those types of situations, you very rarely want your quarterback to throw the ball behind the line to gain. On 3rd down early on in games, 4th down in these critical, gotta have it type moments, you don't want your quarterback checking down or throwing the ball short of the sticks. You want him throwing it beyond the sticks. Now, I don't know if we need the deep shot to Xavier Weaver with the game on the line, but again, I don't mind the execution of the play. I don't mind the play call itself because I think it's executed perfectly, but I just don't think that's the spot you call that play. I think that's the place that I come to. And unfortunately, as a coaching staff, I think you got to know better than that.
You have to. But that's been the problem all year, right? Like this is another gotta have it late in the game situation.
For sure.
And once again, I felt like the play call came up small.
Oh, I don't mind being angry at the play call itself. I think it's misguided to say that it was executed properly. Or improperly. I think it is a mistake to get mad at Jacoby Brissett. Your anger should be at Drew Petzing and Jonathan Gannon. That's where your anger should be if you're mad about that play. And I hear you, but that's where your anger should be placed. That's where your frustration should be placed. Because I think it is a bad play call for that situation, and they should have known better when they saw it break the huddle.
And that's my biggest problem with it, is it's not just once all year that, okay, you know what, it was a bad play call in that spot. It is time and time again. With the ball in the 4th quarter or in overtime, they have come up small again with a play call that puts their team not in the best position to win the game. And it's you can go up and down the list of how many times they've done it.
Yeah, I just think I think the play's executed correctly. I just don't think it's the right play call in that spot. I don't think you want to leave it to where if the defender crashes the way that he did or the way it appears that he did, that it becomes I'm taking a one-on-one deep shot on 4th and 4 to my wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6. If this team's fully healthy, Xavier Weaver is what? Wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6? Marv, Michael Wilson, Zay Jones, Greg Dortch is 1 through 4.
Yeah.
It's my wide receiver 5.
5.
I'm taking a one-on-one shot with on 4th and 4 when I've got to have it. That's not the situation I want to find myself in. And as a coaching staff, I need to make sure I don't put my players in that situation. That's where the coaching staff has to realize this is a great play for 2nd and 10 in the 3rd quarter, but this is not a great play call on 4th and 4 when I need 5 yards to keep the game alive. Because you know Jacksonville is going to sell out to make sure Michael Wilson and Trey McBride don't see the football. So you have to find a creative way to either get those guys involved, because no one's going to come in here and complain if that throws to Trey McBride. Well, you went down throwing it to your best player. The frustration that people have is, one, it's a deep shot on 4th and 4, and 2, I think people have a problem with the fact that it's Xavier Weaver. Michael Wilson's not even involved in the play, by the way.
Not at all.
Like, he's a decoy on that play. Again, from my interpretation of what I've seen.
But you needed, and again, it's hard to see without the...
It's hard to see because NFL Pro has not given us the ability to see the play.
You need the safety to shade Michael Wilson's way.
Right. If that safety starts to move that way, then what that opens up for you is a crossing route for Trey McBride, or he can just run a hook curl and just sit it down against zone and just be open for an 8-yard gain and sit it down and keep the chains moving. Like, that's the idea of the play. Trey McBride, I believe, is the primary read on that play. That's my gut. My gut is that's the read on that play.
I'm with you. I think they wanted to get the ball to Trey McBride.
Yep.
And to not have the situational awareness to know, hey, they're going to double Trey
if
here.
If this goes wrong, the other read is we're throwing the one-on-one ball, and in this case, it's Xavier Weaver.
You threw a 50-50 ball in a gotta-have 4-yard situation.
It was kind of a good throw.
It was a great ball. Great throw.
I mean, it was a good throw.
And it's the right read.
Right.
And so it's a good throw. It's the right read.
Again.
And you just...
knowing what we know currently. I don't want this to age poorly, because if we see the play and there's a complete miscommunication and like Michael Wilson's just wide open somehow. With what we know currently, with the information that I have been able to glean so far, I don't mind the way the play ran the moment the ball was snapped.
Did not have the awareness as a coaching staff to believe that it's going to come down. That specific design of play is a shot play in which it is a 50-50 ball. And to have your head coach come out and say, I like that spot. We want to throw that. We want to win the game. Do you know how they win the game? Get 4 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you just... again, when that play is called, you know that one of the outcomes is that they throw the deep ball. And so you have to live with it. And Jonathan Gannon has to live with that decision. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, ASU picked up another win. What is their path now to return to the Big 12 championship? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
NAU men's basketball over on KAZG 1440. Join the Lumberjacks as they look to prove themselves on the court against Cal Poly. With the direction of head coach Shane Burkhardt, the Lumberjacks know they have what it takes to win and defend the Roll Activity Center. Join Mitch Stroman on the call live this Monday night. It's NAU versus Cal Poly. Pre-game Monday night at 5:30 p.m. and tip-off at 6 over on KAZG 1440.
Employers, unsafe trenching work can be deadly. It's your responsibility to follow safety guidelines and protect your crews. Make sure proper trenching safety measures are in place before any work begins, because at the end of the day, every worker deserves to go home. For guidance or questions about trenching safety compliance, call ADOSH for a free confidential consultation. Visit azica.gov or call toll-free at 855-268-5251. That's azica.gov. Protect your team. Follow trenching safety. Sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
Motley Crue, the return of the Carnival of Sins. September 16th, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. The Crew celebrates the 20th anniversary of Carnival of Sins. Motley Crue, with performances by Tesla and Extreme. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Motley Crue, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
This winter, step into a world of wonder at the Tianyu Lights Festival, open now through January 4th at Camelback Ranch, Glendale, and Phoenix. Explore the 4 new themes: Bugs Aglow, Colors of Holidays, Rainforest, and Prehistoric Animals, which feature 70 glowing handcrafted lanterns. Enjoy delicious foods and beverages at our food court, explore the interactive lanterns, and complete your visit with a trip to the marketplace where you'll find unique souvenirs. Don't miss this unforgettable holiday experience. Tickets are available now.
The year-end sales event is going on now at Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Right now, you can receive a 0% APR for 60 full months on all new 2025 Mitsubishi models. You heard right, 0% APR on all 2025 Mitsubishis.
And if you're thinking about selling or trading your current vehicle, please give us a call. Our data shows that 9 out of 10 times we offer more.
Don't cost yourself $1,000 or more by not making that simple phone call. The name to remember, Scottsdale Mitsubishi, Scottsdale Mitsubishi. On approved credit, another Mark Auto Group dealership.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The Vikings have a J.J. McCarthy problem, and it's getting harder to ignore. Sunday's divisional loss to the Packers didn't just drop the Vikings to 4-7. It crystallized the frustration surrounding a season that was supposed to be transitional. And fair or not, the bulk of that spotlight is landed on McCarthy. He's now made 6 starts, and the numbers read like a caution sign. 929 yards, 6 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a 54% completion rate. A 2-4 record in those starts only sharpens the edges. There have been flashes, the arm talent, mobility, the occasional drive that reminds you of why he was drafted in round 1, but the inconsistency has become the headline. Normally, you preach patience with a young quarterback. Let him grow, let him fail, let him learn. But patience is harder to sell in Minnesota these days, not with Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones having their new teams in a playoff hunt. He still has time, but the runway is shrinking, and Minnesota knows it. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Mako's running a paint sale right now, starting at just $499. How about that? Now, if you've been thinking about maybe doing something with your car, don't pass up this opportunity, okay? There's dents, dings, chip paint. Mako's seen it all. But for this price, take advantage of that, and you could give your ride a fresh look. Free estimate. They'll work with your budget. They'll get the job done fast. No pressure, no judgment, a fresh start, and you're going to have a national warranty to accompany it. And they're community-based, great people to work with, somebody you can trust to make your car look nice. A fresh ride. They've been doing it for over 50 years, and it's easier than ever for you to take advantage of this. Your car could use a little love. Now's the time. But don't wait. These paint sales will not last long. Visit Mako, that's MAACO.com, and find the nearest location. Schedule that free estimate. And with the paint sale starting at just $499, your car is going to look awesome. Better get Mako.
ASU women's basketball continues right here on KDUS AM 1060. The Lady Sun Devils this Tuesday get ready to play host to Utah Tech. With Coach Molly Miller at the helm, ASU looks to reach new heights this season and prove themselves on the court. Tune in as ASU looks to win over the Bison. It's ASU women's basketball this Tuesday night. Pregame at 6 p.m. and tip-off at 6:30 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Sun Devils picked up a win in Colorado over the weekend, keeping their hopes alive for the Big 12 championship. Now, they got none of the help that they needed. TCU beat Houston. Kansas State lost to Utah. And BYU beat Cincinnati. They just got none of the help that they needed.
No, not at all.
None whatsoever. So now, how does that lead into this week? Well, step number 1, Sun Devils need to beat U of A. And by the way, I would make it my 3-point play if it was allowed. The Sun Devils being a 1.5-point underdog would be my 3-point play, just to be clear.
I think you and we should get an honorary 4-point play this week. Put it on the Devils on Friday night.
So we're both going to put a 4-point play on the Sun Devils plus the 1.5. Lock in 4-point play for both of us?
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually do anything to the standings?
No.
All right, so 4-point play, lock it in this week, one time only, one-time exception. Producer Evan and I have the same pick, Sun Devils plus 1.5. I love that bulletin board material. I love that.
I bet you it's on everybody's locker this morning.
I hope so. So here, according to the Big 12, are the scenarios. And then I'll allow producer Evan to talk about the scenario that he found that's not one of these 3 scenarios that we're trying to figure out, are we wrong or is the Big 12 wrong? So here are the 3 scenarios according to the Big 12. Now, the reason why I say this is because I'm reading from a Brad Denny tweet. It says, here's how ASU can get back to Arlington per the Big 12. Brad Denny, podcaster, Speak of the Devils. You know him. ASU, I'm not going to read this every time. ASU needs to beat U of A. They need to beat U of A, and then one of these three things happen. They need a Texas Tech and Utah loss and a BYU win. So that's scenario number one. So BYU wins, but Texas Tech and Utah loses. They then need a BYU loss and a Utah loss. That's scenario number two. BYU loses to UCF and Utah loses to Kansas. Scenario number three is that Utah wins, but Texas Tech and BYU lose. So basically, the way that I would wrap this up is Texas Tech, Utah, BYU, the three teams directly in front of ASU in the standings. ASU needs to win, and they need two of those three to lose. They can't have all three lose. They need two of those three to lose. Now, producer Evan found a scenario that's nothing like any of those three.
So here is, in my head, how it goes. So very simple. If Texas Tech wins, all ASU needs is a BYU loss. According to the Big 12 Championship Predictor, which was right last year when I did all the scenarios, as well as this is from the Big 12. So I have no idea where that information is coming from as well.
So a BYU loss.
If BYU loses, Utah wins, and Texas Tech wins, all ASU needs is to win the game.
See, that's not one. That's not one of the scenarios.
So it's just very simple.
Listed here.
Arizona State would need to win. BYU would need to lose.
Yeah, I mean, there are two of the three scenarios that I just outlined where a BYU loss helps, but then they need a Utah loss and a Texas Tech loss. Now,
so if both BYU and Texas Tech lose, ASU's not in, and it's BYU versus Utah in the Big 12 Championship.
Texas Tech plays West Virginia. Utah plays Kansas. BYU plays UCF.
Now, if all three teams lose,
then ASU's out.
If Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah lose, ASU's in, they play BYU.
Wait a minute. Rewind. Texas Tech loses.
If Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah all lose, Utah would then be 6-3 in the conference. ASU would be 7-2. Texas Tech would be 7-2, and BYU would be 7-2. And Arizona State would get in over Texas Tech because they have the head-to-head. So it'd be BYU, Arizona State.
Also not on my list of scenarios
that is technically a scenario. If all three of the other teams lose, ASU is in versus BYU.
But this is from the Big 12.
This website is the Big 12.
No, I'm just saying, but this is from the Big 12. So somehow,
I don't know where you're getting these.
This is from a tweet. I'm reading it from a tweet from Brad Denny, who's, a smart guy.
No. Brad's typically right.
Right. So
I think Brad's wrong on this. It's very complicated.
I need the Big 12 to speak on this. I need the official Big 12 conference to come out and say these are the scenarios for the
Well, I think we just need to talk to Brad.
No, I need the Big 12 to act like an adult conference and give us the permutations. That's
Long
what
story
I need.
short, you just need BYU to lose.
You think the Big 12 website's got something for me?
Yeah, I'll go right there. Big12.com.
It's Big12sports.com, please.
Sorry.
Make sure you have the sports. So I'm on the Big 12 website. I just want to see. No, see, this is what I want. I want you to have the scenarios, Big 12. This is what you're supposed to do as a upstanding conference. You want to be treated like a Big 2 conference? You got to act like one. Championships in football. That's what I want. I want the football championships. And I want
This is ticket info standings.
Yeah,
Maybe
John
that could help
Party's
us.
going to be the halftime performer.
John Party's the halftime performer?
That's what it says here on the website.
Oh my, we should go. You like John Party?
I do. I've seen him.
You have?
I have, yeah. So I'm in Vegas.
He's one of the guys I haven't seen.
So I'm in Vegas last December.
How was it?
He was fantastic.
At Sphere?
No, it was at the MGM Garden Arena.
Nice. I want to go to
I don't think
Sphere.
that's accurate. I think it was at the Michelob Ultra Center. I don't know. One of the two down there. They're right next to each other.
They don't give you any kind of.
No, the Big 12. The Big 12 gives us no information.
You have to go to Big 12 Championship Predictor.com.
Now, It's All Code says, better worry about that Arizona game first. Doesn't seem like you've been paying attention to how well they've been playing. Code, I hear you. Let me tell you what doesn't matter. How the two teams are playing. It doesn't matter if the team is 1-8 or 8-1. This game is just different. This game is about coaching. It's about execution. And I'll take Kenny 10 times out of 10.
I also just want to be like, everybody's talking about how U of A is playing. Let's look at their wins here, people.
I mean, they've been playing better as of late. And I do think it's going to be a closer game, hence the 1.5 point spread. But So you came up with two different scenarios that are not on my list.
I mean, like they beat Colorado, who we saw play. They impressive win against Cincinnati. They blew out Baylor, who's quit on the season. Kansas stinks. I don't know. They're not that impressive.
I'm trying to look up tiebreakers. Maybe they changed the tiebreakers this year. Maybe that's the problem.
You think my website's out of date now?
No, I'm not claiming that. I'm curious. This is Big 12 letterhead. Look, this is Big 12 letterhead. It doesn't have your scenarios on it.
Where is that?
This is Paula Bovin, great professor over at Arizona State.
Oh, yes. Former professor of mine.
So you trust her?
I do. I'll be honest, if Paula's saying it now, I'm really.
Now you're questioning everything.
Yeah.
And they have, so BYU clinches with a win over UCF or an ASU loss, or BYU can lose to USF or to UCF. And then you need a Texas Tech loss, an ASU win, and a Utah win. Texas Tech clinches with a win over West Virginia or an Arizona State loss. So to the Big 12, if Texas Tech wins, they've got one of the two spots.
Yeah, but we knew that because no matter what, if Texas Tech, it's winning in for them. And same with Utah. They only have one loss, or BYU.
Well, Utah needs a win and a bunch of other stuff.
Yes. According to what I'm looking at.
Okay. This should be good.
Well, just give me 2 seconds.
This is official Big 12 letterhead.
Well, I'm just going to give you odds.
Big 12 conference.
According, BYU and Texas Tech actually have BYU has the biggest chance to go to the Big 12 championship game. And that's just because they think that UCF's the worst team.
Well, because all BYU needs to do is win.
And so they have an 85% chance to go.
So if BYU wins,
Texas Tech has a 77% chance to go.
If BYU win and Texas Tech wins, it's over. It doesn't matter what ASU does.
Nothing matters if those two teams win.
Right. You need losses.
Arizona State then would have a 27% chance to win, to get in, which is a far better chance than Utah's 10% chance.
So you're a Sun Devil fan on Friday. You're also a UCF fan. You're also a West Virginia fan. You're also a Kansas fan. Those are the teams you're rooting for this week.
So let's look at this real quick. So you need a Texas Tech loss.
Yes, opens up two pathways for the Sun Devils.
A Texas Tech loss and a Kansas loss gets you in.
No.
Sorry, no. Texas Tech loss and a Utah loss to Kansas gets you in.
As long as BYU beats UCF.
No, because even if BYU loses that game, you're still in.
This feels like Abbott and Costello, who's on first. I'm reading to you from the page. The results that you just gave to me lead to ASU not being in. You need to stop looking at your predictor website, which is clearly wrong.
It's not. It's never been wrong.
It led us astray last week, apparently, and I'm not going to let it lead us astray this week.
It didn't lead us astray.
I want you to get away.
You want to hear something crazy though?
I've been listening to this crazy for the last 3 minutes.
No, I just think this is pretty crazy. So at the point where if Kansas State beat Utah the other day, then believe it or not, we would have been rooting for Houston.
Right, but I don't care about that. I care about this week. And this week, ASU needs a win, and they need two of Texas Tech, Utah, and BYU to lose. That's it.
Yes.
Texas Tech and Utah lose? Fine. BYU and Utah lose? Fine. Texas Tech and BYU lose? Fine.
I really want to see if there's a scenario.
There's not. I'm reading from the official Big 12 website.
No. There's a scenario where Texas Tech and BYU lose and Arizona State doesn't get in, correct?
Yes. That scenario is if all three lose. If Kansas beats Utah. So
what if Utah wins?
If Utah wins and Texas Tech and BYU lose, ASU is in.
And who are they playing?
Utah? Again, this feels like who's on first. Kansas. UCF, West Virginia, Kansas. That's your rooting guide for the week.
But not all three.
Not all three. Just two of the three. So you just need two of the three. You can't have all three. All three, not good. Two of those three need to win.
And wait, so
Go ahead.
I was just kidding.
Go ahead.
I didn't think that was just a joke.
I mean, it's just Coach says I'm in a boiling rage. Yes, because Evan is trying to explain to me that scenarios that are not from the official conference can happen, which it can't. These are the scenarios.
I wouldn't be very clear. This thing is very legit.
Well, apparently not that legit this year.
I just don't think they have the updated.
They probably don't have the updated tiebreakers. Probably is where I guess it's leading you astray. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us and save my sanity here today on the program. You can also hang out with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, can the Phoenix Suns put the cherry on top of the sundae? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
And LSU said, yeah, we've had enough. They've had enough of the experience of Brian Kelly losing 3 out of the last 4, and 2 of which he lost to his coordinator. They were ex-coordinators of him. And the last 3 coaches they've had, they've all won national championship within 4 years. Coach O did it. Les Miles did it. Nick Saban did it. Brian Kelly did not. Yeah, out. Now the question is, who do they bring in?
Back Coach O.
Can't wait to see who that's going to be. No, I think he burned in bridges.
Every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Feed a family, make a kid happy.
We're proud to support the 25th annual Operation Santa Claus. You can help make the holidays brighter for families in need by donating non-perishable food, new toys, or children's clothing at Sanderson Ford, Sanderson, Lincoln, ABC 15, or select U-Haul locations. All donations benefit local charities. Visit givetotheclaus.com for drop-off locations and details.
Sanderson Ford, Lincoln, and ABC 15.
The other day I couldn't find my belt, and my wife found my belt, and as she brought it to me, she said, "Where would you be without me?" And I wanted to say, exactly here without the belt. In fact, I would have the belt because I would know exactly where it was in yesterday's pants on the floor. But now, we're not allowed to leave yesterday's pants on the floor, so I need a National Treasure-style map to find my one lousy belt.
Seth Meyers, live on stage, Saturday, March 14th, Talking Stick Resort. Tickets are on sale now at TalkingStickResort.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
This holiday season, elevate your event at Talking Stick Resort. From breathtaking views and a world-class golf course to 113,000 square feet of flexible event space, every detail sets the stage for an unforgettable holiday party. Whether it's cocktails under the stars or a fully produced banquet with state-of-the-art AV, Talking Stick has it all. Plus a luxurious spa for next-day recovery. Secure your celebration today. Talking Stick Resort, Scottsdale's premier destination for celebration. Life well played.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract, play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Suns had a perfect weekend. Won their NBA Cup game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Followed it up with a win last night against the San Antonio Spurs, despite being shorthanded. Now it is the second game of a back-to-back to end this little mini 3-game homestand, and the Suns have an opportunity to finish it absolutely perfect. A perfect 3-0 if they're able to get by the Houston Rockets, who will be without Kevin Durant, who's going to miss 2 games due to a family issue. So hopefully all is well with Kevin Durant. Never good when somebody's got to step away because of a family issue. So hopefully things are good for Kevin Durant. And there was and I think still is excitement for this game because of the trade that the two teams made in the offseason. Now, unfortunately, Jalen Green not available for the Suns, Kevin Durant not available for the Rockets. That would have been fun to see them kind of clash tonight. But for the Suns, they just want to keep on rolling. They have been great so far in the month of November. They've been great so far to start this season, and they have a chance to walk into their 2 games this week after tonight in the NBA Cup feeling really good. 4-game winning streak. Now, it's the second game of back-to-back. Mark Williams played last night, so you have to keep an eye on. Probably not going to be available. It is still game time decisions, I believe, for Grayson Allen and Ryan Dunn. I'm looking over through the other side of the glass to see if we have any updates on the injury status for those players in tonight's game. The last I saw this morning, they were all listed as game time decisions, that being Ryan Dunn, Grayson Allen, and Mark Williams. Now, I expect Mark Williams not to play.
As it currently sits, all are still game time decisions, as well as Steven Adams is a game time decision for Houston. You touched on Kevin Durant out. Dorian Finney-Smith also out for the Houston Rockets.
So both teams a little banged up going into this game tonight. And the Suns last night, they were able to shorthanded be able to beat the San Antonio Spurs. Tonight going to be a tougher challenge, especially if they are going to use this as a chance to give Mark Williams a break. And part of their plan, so far this season, you've seen him kind of miss these second games of back-to-backs. They've been very deliberate, I think is the right word to describe how the Suns have been with Mark Williams and his minutes allocations and when he gets used and what days he gets off in order to keep him healthy, because he's a difference maker for this team. And so if they go into tonight, no Jalen Green obviously is out. If they use this as a chance for Mark Williams to sit down, if they don't have Grayson Allen, and if they don't have Ryan Dunn, it does feel like a little bit of an uphill battle, a tough uphill battle for the Phoenix Suns. But if they are healthy, if they do have Grayson Allen back, if they do have Ryan Dunn back, then I do think they have a chance to be super competitive tonight. And I think right now, with the way this team is played, you can't count them out of any single game they play. And if they found a way to win this one tonight and go 3-0 in the stretch, I mean, to me, they're playing with house money. To win those first 2, we said 2-1 would be perfect. I am not going to come in here tomorrow and be upset if they fall to Houston, especially if they're shorthanded. What are you going to do if you're missing all of that talent? If you're missing 4 guys who would be starters for you, basically. You've got 4 guys who are starters or who are playing some serious minutes for you that are going to be out. No one is going to put that game on you. And again, for this program, I've got my eye toward Wednesday. I've got my eye toward Friday. I want you to be healthy for both of those games, because if you drop one of these 2, it's going to come down to, I believe, point differential for you to get into the knockout stage of the NBA Cup. And so you're going to need to bring it later on this week. You're going to need to bring it in Sacramento. You're going to need to bring it in Oklahoma City. You're going to need to keep that game close, especially if you beat Sacramento. It's all going to be about point differential at that point. So I'm looking towards the tail end of this week for this team more so than I am tonight. Back-to-back, shorthanded, have some injuries that are catching up. I don't expect a whole lot in tonight's game, and I think that's okay. If they do pull it off, Producer Evan's going to talk about being a contender in the Western Conference. We're going to talk about this team being a top 5 seed. I mean, all of it goes on the table if they find a way to win this one tonight, I think. But again, a reminder, 17 games into the season. Let's get to Christmas. Let's get to the end of the year. And let's see if this team has some staying power. It certainly feels like they do, but we've seen before, seasons can flip in an instant. It did last year for the Cardinals. It did last year for the Suns after their hot start. Things can change very, very quickly. Now, you believe in the coaching staff. You believe in the players that they have. Staying healthy, priority number 1. But let's just wait a little bit more before we start shifting the expectations for this team, because I think we've already started to shift them a little bit. I think no longer do we worry about this team not making the play-in tournament. I think we very clearly think they're going to be one of the 10 best teams in the West. They're clearly better than a handful of teams. Now it's a question of can they break through and be one of the six that doesn't have to play in the play-in tournament. So far, so good. So far, they've been that team. Can they continue it? Games like tonight. By the way, you win tonight. You hop Houston in the standings. You're 5 seed, maybe the 4 seed, depending on how some results shake out. You're only a half game out of the 4 seed going into this game tonight.
You'd be the 4 seed sitting alone. You win tonight.
I mean, imagine uttering that sentence when the season started. Imagine thinking that was something we would talk about on the show.
17 games in.
Didn't have that on my bingo card.
I didn't have that. Like, you would be 18 games in, almost a fourth of the way through the season. I didn't think this team would be in this spot.
By the way, if the Suns win tonight to get to 12-6, if everybody wants to just give us credit for the Suns win total over now,
we'll take it.
We'll take it because, 30 feels ridiculous now. We tried to look the other day to see if there were updated win totals for the teams. We couldn't find any. I'd be fascinated to see what their live win total is.
I bet my roommate a nice dinner on the Suns over.
You have the over?
I have the over.
He's got the under?
Yeah.
Is he sweating?
He's sweating.
Is he looking for a cash out opportunity?
No, actually, yesterday he told me it was over.
He called the bet?
He called it. He said, good win. So we'll see how it goes in case in case of major injuries. But
especially after you beat Minnesota and San Antonio, right? Like, that's not Utah. That's not Dallas. That's not Indiana. Those are two teams that people think are going to make noise in the West this year.
And you go on a stretch at the end of December. You have New Orleans twice and Washington. You get Sacramento a couple times here in this month. Like, I don't see them losing to New Orleans. I don't see them losing to Washington.
I don't see them losing to Sacramento at all this year. I don't see them losing to New Orleans much, if at all, this year. I think Dallas is the team that they can beat pretty regularly. There are now a ton of games where you go, those are winnable. Like, those are just you.
You look at both Golden State games here in middle end of December. I think those are both winnable. You lost to them early. They're not the team that we probably thought they could be.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity. They've got how many games between now and the end of the year? 1, 2, 3, 4 in this month. That's 2, 3. We'll just exclude the cup games for right now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They got 14 games, not including any of the NBA Cup games that they play. 14 games between now and the end of the year, and they're already at 12. Are they going to get 7 of those games? Are they going to go 7-7 in that stretch?
They go 7-7, and you have 19 wins.
I was just going to say they go 8-6. And again, that doesn't include doing anything in the NBA Cup. They go 8-6.
You're at 20.
You're at 20 before the calendar flips. You need 10 wins, 11 wins the rest of the way. It felt disrespectful at the time, and now it's just proving to be disrespectful. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we've got one more before we hand things off to Jim Rome at the top of the hour. Call it the leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We will get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Desert Diamond Arena, Friday, March 6th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails. Live in Glendale. Peel It Back Tour 2026.
Doesn't it make you feel better?
If you don't have gas in your home, but something doesn't smell good.
Ew, what's that smell?
If it smells like rotten eggs, there could be a leak in your neighborhood.
Now what do I do?
If you suspect a leak, move fast, call 911 and Southwest Gas.
From a safe location. But I don't have natural gas in my home.
Gas lines are buried all around, so even if you don't have gas.
I know, call 911 and Southwest Gas.
The Kia Season of New Traditions year-end sales event is going on now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale.
Right now, you can receive up to $10,000 bonus cash on Kia's most popular EVs, like the 2025 Kia EV6 and 2026 Kia EV9.
The name to remember, Mark Kia, Mark Kia.
Been crazy busy these days? Sounds like you could use a little we time. That means playtime at the AAA 4-Diamond Wekopa Casino Resort. Game time with more than 900 slots plus table games. Maybe a tea time on one of 2 nationally ranked courses. And definitely some hang time at WKP Sportsbook, the largest sportsbook in the state. Wekopa Casino Resort. It's we time.
Dynasty Collision, Phoenix's top-rated collision center, covers up to $1,000 of your deductible. Call 602-529-3304. With 5-star reviews and a lifetime warranty, Dynasty Collision is your repair solution. Call now 602-529-3304. Dynasty Collision.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
This is what I mean when I say that was a collapse for the ages. An all-time tank job. Not only did the Giants lead 19-0 going into the fourth quarter, they scored 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, and they still lost. The Giants were 99.8% to win that game, according to ESPN. But according to the Broncos, the number was actually 0.0%.
Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Jim Rome coming up at the top of the hour. But before that, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. By the way, happy 100 days till the World Baseball Classic.
Nice. Let's get through football season.
100 days till the World Baseball Classic. Allow me to have this. What do we have in the leftovers today, Producer Evan?
Well, do you want to start or finish with Monday Night Football?
I want to start with Monday Night Football because I know you're angry about this. You are upset that you don't have 3 points on this game. You're upset that there's no points on this game whatsoever for you. Your Panthers.
I'm really upset. Can I use some of my points next week on this game?
No. Part of me wanted to allow you to do it, but no. No.
I just honorary.
By the way, picks coming up on Wednesday this week.
Honorary.
Just so
I'm
everybody
taking
knows.
the Panthers plus 7.5.
Just so everybody knows, picks on Wednesday's program. We're not here Thursday and Friday.
On Wednesday, yes, we are. We're off this week.
We're off Thursday and Friday.
Friday.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes. So picks coming on Wednesday. The NFL look ahead will happen on Wednesday. We're running the 4-minute offense this week on the program.
We really are.
Like I think tomorrow we'll do the Schubert scale.
I was going to ask, so are we going to do power rankings tomorrow?
I think we're going to have to because on Wednesday's show is going to be a football Wednesday.
Are we going to bail out on overreactions this week?
We can maybe sneak in overreactions tomorrow. We'll do a list on Wednesday as normal, but just we're going to get to a lot here over the next couple of days.
It's going to be crowded.
It's going to be very crowded. With the Bucs loss, huge chance.
This is the chance for the Panthers
Baker
and my
Mayfield
guy Bryce.
hurt a little bit. The doors opening up for the Carolina Panthers.
I love the NFC South. I love it. These are 2 of my guys. You know, Baker's a little banged up, but he's one of my favorites. Bryce, obviously one of my favorites. I've been very vocal about that on the show. As a short guy myself, as a shorter guy, I love rooting for Bryce. Love it. Really goes to prove that if my parents just pushed me a little harder, I could have made it.
You could have been Bryce Young. That's the takeaway today for us.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, Panthers plus 7.5 on the road in San Francisco.
You don't have any points on this. I just want to make this clear for the audience. You're just saying that you like the Panthers plus the 7.5. There's no official points on this. That's not
no official points.
No official points on this. They've been impressive all year. The door's opening because of the Bucs losing, and the Bucs now have a quarterback issue on their hands with Baker. Don't know if he's going to be able to play on Sunday against the Cardinals. If he does, is he 100%? All those question marks. If you are able to pull off this upset against San Francisco tonight, you might put yourself in the driver's seat for the NFC South.
Yeah. They play twice, correct? Let's say it.
Who?
I want to say that they still have 2 games left.
Against the Bucs?
Yeah.
I have a memory of a goldfish. I don't remember if they've played at all this year.
I mean, so the the Panthers have a real winnable schedule. You got 49ers, you got Rams, Saints, Bucks twice, and the Seahawks.
That's the opposite of a winnable schedule. They may be lucky to win one more game in that schedule.
If the Panthers make the playoffs with that schedule, I just want to be very clear. If they win 4 of the next 6 against the Niners, Panthers, Niners, Rams, Saints, Bucks twice, and Seahawks, I don't want to play them in the playoffs.
So are you ready for this?
They're gonna take some team like the Rams, and they're gonna go beat them.
Are you ready for this? You already have your 3-point play for Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, dude, I may have to change it.
No, you're locked in. You're locked in. You're not allowed to change it. We've talked about this. I am going to lock in something today. If the Panthers make the playoffs, considering that schedule, and they play anybody not named the Rams in the first round, which if the Rams have the 1 seed, they won't, so they'll play anybody else. You can lock in my 1-point play, the Panthers plus or minus the points.
That's my 2-point play.
So okay, so we're gonna get to Wild Card Weekend, and we're gonna have picks already locked in. We're not even have to do any research. We're gonna be committed. You have a 3 and a 2-point play for Wild Card Weekend locked up already. I have my 1-point play locked up for Wild Card Weekend,
and my 1-point play will be the Bears plus. A Bears Panthers game. I wouldn't even know who to bet in that one.
Certainly possible.
It would be the Panthers.
You'd have to take your Panthers, right? They're your team.
I would have to. But long story short, I'm going to be coming in here doing a victory lap when Bryce upsets the Niners tonight.
I'll tell you what. They do that, there's a chance in the Schubert scale tomorrow the Panthers are mentioned. There's a world. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not committing to anything. But there's a world where they get some love.
Under that, so the Panthers would have beaten this year. The Cowboys looks great. The Packers, those are probably 2 of their more impressive. They got crushed by the Patriots.
Yeah, well, that was a bad week for you because you took them that week, I think, in the picks. They were like your 2 or 3-point play that week.
It was not my 3.
It
was a 2-point play.
I need somebody, and I'm outsourcing this work to a member of the audience. I need somebody to go back and see how well we've done as a show on our 3-point plays this year. I feel like that's going to be the difference when we get down to the end of who did better with their 3-point plays. So if somebody could do that work for me and for us, for the program, that'd be lovely.
So I told my college roommate, he's a diehard Niners fan.
All right, you've got like 20 seconds to tell this story.
And he texted me that I'm a Niners hater. I said, no, not at all. Diehard Bryce guy.
I like how we did the leftovers. We got the one story. We got the Monday Night Football.
I like 4 stories here.
Didn't get to any of them. I'll try to get to some of them tomorrow, maybe. Jim Rome's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya!
AM 1060 KDUS